Scary telling.
The weight of guilt settled heavily upon my shoulders as I carefully tended to my sister Amla's wound in the dimly lit kitchen. The events of that fateful day replayed in my mind, each moment etched with remorse and regret. Amla had just wanted to play catch, to spend time with her older sister, but my impatience and irritation had clouded my judgment. As I secured the bandage around her injured hand, a chilling shift in the atmosphere began to take hold. The room seemed to grow darker, the air thick with an unexplainable heaviness. Anxiety clenched at my chest, whispering doubts and unease into my ears. But I brushed them aside, convinced that it was just my own guilt manifesting in my surroundings. But then, as I glanced up at the walls, I saw them, shadows dancing and writhing, taking on grotesque forms. The shadows seemed alive, mocking my pain, their contorted shapes resembling twisted monsters. Endless stories of smoke monsters echoed in my mind, and a shiver ran down my spine. Could it be possible that our tales weren't mere fantasies, but a disturbing reality? My heart raced as the shadows grew more pronounced, their movements becoming more deliberate and unsettling. I watched in horror as the smoky tendrils snaked across the walls, reaching out towards me with an eerie longing. Fear clutched at my throat, making it difficult to breathe. I tried to rationalize, to convince myself that it was a trick of the light or my overactive imagination. But deep down, I knew that something otherworldly was unfolding before me. With a trembling hand, I reached out to touch one of the shadows, hoping to dispel the illusion. But as my fingers made contact, I felt a chilling coldness, like icy tendrils coiling around my hand. The shadows shifted and swirled, merging into a unified mass that loomed ominously before me. And then, it happened, the smoke monsters took form, their ethereal bodies materializing right before my eyes. I could scarcely believe what I was witnessing. These apparitions, once confined to the realms of imagination, were now tangible entities in my reality. They pulsed with an otherworldly energy, their wispy forms billowing and undulating as if they were composed of pure darkness. Fear gripped me, threatening to paralyze my every movement. The monsters seemed to sense my terror, their attention fixated on me. I desperately looked around for an escape route, but the encroaching darkness and the advancing smoke monsters made it clear that there was no easy way out. As panic surged through my veins, I mustered every ounce of strength I had left. I forced myself to crawl towards the foam, my fingers grazing its cool surface. But the darkness seemed to intensify, pressing in on me from all sides. The smoke monsters, driven by an insatiable hunger, loomed closer, their tendrils reaching out towards me, threatening to ensnare me in their smoky abyss. With each labored breath, I fought against the suffocating grip of fear. I stretched out my trembling hand, my fingers desperately dialing the emergency number. The foam pressed against my ear. I strained to speak, to beg for help, but the words caught in my throat. The darkness swallowed my voice, leaving me silent and helpless. In that moment, I realized the extent of my actions, the repercussions of my impatience and recklessness. Amla's tales weren't just figments of her imagination, they were a warning, a haunting reminder of the darkness that I had brought upon our lives. The guilt that had plagued me now manifested in the form of these terrifying smoke monsters, ready to exact their revenge. As I lay there, trapped in the clutches of the encroaching darkness, I could only hope that help would arrive in time. But the shadows continued to twist and writhe, their haunting presence serving as a chilling testament to the consequences of my actions. The darkness enveloped me like a suffocating shroud, pressing against my body and invading my every sense. The smoke monsters, their spectral forms now fully materialized, loomed over me, their presence intensifying with each passing moment. I struggled to draw in a breath, the tendrils of their smoky essence constricting around my throat, as if attempting to choke the life out of me. My vision became distorted, the world around me warping into a nightmarish swirl of colors and shapes. Reality and illusion merged into a horrifying tapestry that played tricks on my already fragile mind. Shadows danced and twisted, taking on grotesque forms that mirrored my inner turmoil. The boundaries between what was real and what was imagined blurred, leaving me in a perpetual state of disorientation. Tormented by guilt and regret, my thoughts spun in a never-ending cycle. Every moment of impatience, every instance of selfishness haunted me. The weight of Amla's accusations bore down on me, crushing my spirit. I could hear her voice, laced with pain and betrayal, echoing in the recesses of my mind. Within the swirling chaos of the room, eerie manifestations began to appear. Disembodied whispers brushed against my ears, their words barely audible yet filled with malevolence. Flickers of ghostly figures darted in and out of my periphery, their translucent forms instilling a deep sense of dread within me. Faces contorted with anger and resentment flashed before my eyes, a grim reminder of the consequences of my actions. As my strength waned, I found myself teetering on the edge of consciousness and oblivion. The darkness threatened to consume me completely, its insidious presence seeping into my very being. I struggled to hold on, clinging to fragments of reality slipping through my fingers. But the swirling vortex of distorted shapes and colors tugged at my senses, pulling me further into the abyss. In that harrowing moment, I questioned whether escape was even possible. The smoke monsters, embodiments of my guilt and the pain I had caused, seemed insatiable in their desire for retribution. I was caught in a relentless dance with these spectral beings, each movement further entwining me in their web of darkness. Time lost all meaning as I fought to retain a grasp on my sanity. The room, once familiar, now felt like an alien landscape of torment. The walls closed in on me, the very air thick with a palpable malevolence. Every fiber of my being screamed for release, for respite from the unyielding horrors that surrounded me. Yet, even in the midst of despair, a small flicker of determination ignited within me. I refused to succumb to the all-consuming darkness. With whatever strength I had left, I mustered the courage to confront the monsters that now held me captive. I locked eyes with their smoky forms, refusing to cower in fear any longer. But as I reached out to touch them, my hand passed through their ethereal bodies, as if grasping at nothingness. The realization struck me like a blow. The monsters were not of this world. They were a manifestation of my guilt, my remorse, and they could not be vanquished through physical means. With my spirit battered and my body weakened, I fought to maintain a flicker of hope. I knew deep down that redemption would not come easily, that I would have to confront the depths of my remorse and seek forgiveness, both from Amla and from myself. In the swirling abyss, I vowed to find a way to navigate the twisted labyrinth of my own guilt and find a path towards redemption before it was too late. The fading echoes of my struggle lingered in the air as I found myself on the precipice of existence. The house, once a place of warmth and familiarity, now stood as a haunting memorial to the horrors that had unfolded within its walls. It seemed to reverberate with the intertwined voices of Amla and myself, trapped in a cycle of sorrow and vengeance. The weight of my regrets bore down on me as I floated through the ethereal realm, my spirit forever intertwined with Amla's. The house itself seemed to possess a malevolent energy, holding us captive within its spectral embrace. We were trapped in a perpetual purgatory, where every corner held the echoes of our shared pain. Amla's accusations continued to haunt me, her voice resounding through the house with an eerie intensity. The words cut through the stillness, a constant reminder of the monstrous path my actions had set us upon. I could feel her anger, her pain, and her longing for justice pulsating through the very fabric of our existence. As I drifted through the spectral corridors of the house, I was met with chilling reminders of the consequences of my actions. Whispers of the past danced in the air, recounting the fateful moments that led us to this tortured existence. Each whisper carried the weight of remorse, a haunting testament to the choices I had made and the irreparable damage caused. The spirits of those who had suffered within these walls made their presence known, their apparitions flickering in and out of view. Their eyes held the sadness of unfulfilled lives, their silent pleas for solace echoing in the hallowed halls. It was a constant reminder that my actions had not only harmed Hamlet but had left a lasting impact on the very souls that had once called this place home. In the ethereal plane, time lost its grip, blurring the boundaries between past, present, and future. I was forced to relive the moment of Amla's injury over and over again, each replay sharpening the edges of my guilt. The pain of that day seared through my spirit, intensifying the ache within my core. As I floated through the house, my essence intertwined with the fabric of the memories that had been etched into its walls. The rooms whispered their stories, the very essence of the house pulsating with a bittersweet melancholy. Each corner held a fragment of our shared past, a fragment I could never escape. The realization dawned upon me, my only hope for redemption lay in seeking forgiveness, both from Amla and from myself. I aimed to find a way to break free from the torment, to find a path towards healing and reconciliation. But the task seemed insurmountable, as the weight of my actions and the twisted nature of our existence threatened to consume me. Yet, in the depths of despair, a glimmer of determination emerged. I refused to let the haunting echoes of guilt and pain define us forever. With every ounce of my remaining strength, I set forth on a journey of self-discovery and redemption. I sought to confront the depths of my remorse, to face the shadows that had plagued our lives, and to find a way to release us from the eternal torment that had become our reality. In the ethereal realm of the house, where the boundaries between the living and the departed blurred, I embarked on a quest to find forgiveness, solace, and the possibility of a future where our spirits could finally find peace. It would be a treacherous journey, fraught with challenges and haunted by the echoes of our past, but I knew that within the darkness, a glimmer of light awaited, beckoning me to confront my demons and transcend the haunting echoes that bound us.